Hello, hello. Welcome to a special episode of the Pitchy Podcast. We are your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, you know what we're always passionate about, a great vocal and great music. And we're going to always use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice. Now, season 23 is over, y'all. But Stephanie and I, again, would always be remiss if we didn't reminisce on the love that we had.
Come
for
on.
Season 23. Come on, Mary J.
Come on.
I like that, Stephanie.
I did.
Reminisce on the love that we had in Season 23. As Stephanie would always throw the heart up. We love this season. And here we are. We're at the finals or the finale of this season. And we're ready to pick our favorite finale performances, y'all.
Yes.
So, Stephanie.
Yes.
Just to quickly talk about this season, so much happened. There were so many changes, as we found out, that we didn't even know about until we talked to the contestants.
Right.
And it was a shortened season. I just hope, for me personally, because I know you and I both can't get enough of The Voice and the platform. I just hope that they bring back a longer live section of The Voice, because we just were like, wait a minute, it's over?
Right. I think that if NBC's The Voice does listen to feedback, I think that is common feedback from everybody this season, contestants and us viewers. We wanted more. Like, the season felt short, was short, and especially for the lives, I think we all wanted more. And that should be good for them to know that we wanted more. So that should be encouraging to them for the upcoming seasons to know that we want more, and we definitely want more live shows, for sure.
And wanting more, to your point, Stephanie, and wanting more was a testament to the talent that we just couldn't stop talking about all season.
Right.
How deep the talent was. We would always say the talent bench was so deep that when we got to that huge cut going from the taped to the lives, we lost some of the greatest singers of the season and of The Voice, period, I believe.
Right.
So I'm interested to see what the fall is going to bring us. I know it's going to be probably another incredible season. I'm going to love to see the new judges.
Yes.
Reeves is going to be awesome, I think.
Yes.
Because she just she's an icon.
Yes.
And she's got the years in. So without further ado, Stephanie, I'm ready to go. You all, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit shorter of a list this time. So I'm giving nothing away, because I'm giving nothing away as to my choice. You know, my choice is. So Stephanie, I started last time, so it's on you, my friend.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yes, we are doing a top 3. So this is our top 3 of the finals. And so my number 3 is Sorelle, Million Reasons.
Oh!
Million Reasons.
I thought you were going to go with the Motown.
I love the Motown too. I love the Motown.
Shocker. First shocker of the afternoon.
This Million Reasons by Lady Gaga. This was the one that, as James will often say about his choices, this is the one that I kept coming back to. Because this is the one that gave me chills and goosebumps. And this is why. This felt like we were watching what the sister Sorelle does before, or what they did before they were on The Voice, when they were just kind of in their room or wherever they were, just together, just the 3 of them singing. It felt really, really intimate for a lot of different reasons. It felt intimate. The staging of it felt really intimate. It was Bella in the middle and the other 2 sisters on either side. And they were just kind of looking at each other as they were singing. Them being in all white felt really intimate. And the staging was very slight. Now, that might have been because their other song had all of the staging. You had
what do we call the other one? A Vegas production.
it was a Vegas production. It had all the lights, all the staging, all the background. Yes, all the background dancers, all the glitz and glamour. This one was so stripped down. All we had was during one of the choruses, you had fire, like an image of fire come from the floor, and the camera angle was above, and that was really cool and really impactful. But it was just such an intimate performance. They didn't again skimp on their arranging. It was beautifully arranged. It was the first time I had ever heard multiple people sing this Lady Gaga song. So it was really cool to hear different parts harmonized and what they decided to do with the arrangement of this song. There was a vulnerability, an intimacy, and an ache in this performance that was palpable.
Would you say it was a very mature performance?
It was a really mature performance. Yeah. And again,
to show their range, right?
Yeah, and again,
because even though they were genre bending, one of the most genre bending acts or contestants or group of contestants on this show this season, like everything they did up to that point was really fun, right?
Yeah, it was. I think that this performance, and as we have to remember, we're live.
Sure.
So
in the finale.
And the finale. So right. I wouldn't necessarily call this one of their most perfect performances.
Sure.
However, for me, watching these sisters all throughout this competition, this felt like such a really poignant moment of their bond. Like, you get to see their bond. You got to see their professionalism. You got to see their spirit. You got to see their grit. You got to see their work ethic. And you got to see all of that all rolled into one in this performance.
Sure.
So for me, it made for a really powerful performance because everything that we had come to love about them was in this performance for me. Other than the choreography, and that's just because they were seated. We got some of that in the other performance. But this performance really touched me because they were singing to each other and they were singing to us. And it felt like a Sorelle love letter. Like, this is how we want to walk away. And I loved it. I just really loved it. It really impacted me. So that is why they are my number 3 for a million reasons.
I remember having a conversation with some of the artists this past season, and they were talking about, how at this point vocal fatigue was a real thing. And especially for the younger singers like Bella and Gina, like folks who weren't used to this as much singing as they had to do.
Yes.
So
this marathon of singing.
Another testament to the work, like you said, the work ethic and the dedication to the art that Sorelle gave.
Yes.
Each and every performance. Was it perfect? No, but it was Stephanie's number 3.
It was perfect to me.
Pretty darn good, right?
It was perfect to me.
All right, so here we go. Number 3. I have D Smooth, What You Won't Do for Love, Bobby Caldwell. Blue Eyed Soul. D Smooth. That song, first of all, that song is fire. Number 1. Secondly, D just did what he always did. Especially where I really, when going back and listening to this a few times, I said, what is his secret? What is signature D Smooth? And signature D Smooth to me, Stephanie, is everything he does on the back half of a song. Everything he does on the back of the song, he did a little scatting, he did a little this, did a little that, and everything was respectable, and not distracting.
Everything
fit.
Right.
And that's what D Smooth is not an in the cut singer, right? He doesn't sing in the cut. He sings out of the cut. D Smooth draws outside the lines, y'all. And you have to, again, be a master musician, master arranger, master theorist, music theorist, to be able to do these things, because it's all in the feeling. You know, everything D did was in the moment, in the feeling. That's why he never sang it. I was like, what is it, Stephanie? I said, I got to really think about this. Why is this artist, why is this dude so special?
Yes.
Because you know what? He's going to give you the melody, but then back half of the song, it is 100% D Smooth.
That's right.
The entire season, I've never seen an artist on this show come on who could release a new single of every song that they performed.
That's right.
Every single one.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't believe he's my number 3. That's insanity for me. But yeah, I got to put D Smooth at 3. And I'll explain why as we count down our list. So D Smooth, What You Won't Do for Love, Bobby Caldwell, Blue Eyed Soul. He D Smoothified it.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it's off the chain. All right, Stephanie, what you got?
All right, my number 2. My number 2 is Gina Miles. Nothing Compares to You.
Wow. Whew. You know what? Well, I'll let you talk first. This song, I don't know what it does. I don't know if it's because of Sinead or Prince or what, but I'll let you talk. And then, yeah. And then I'm going to, you know what? It's my number 2 as well.
I know.
Right there. So we can both talk about this. So come on, let's volley back and forth.
It's like, bro, you might as well just say it.
We'll volley back and forth. It's my number 2 as well.
Well, then you begin.
You sure?
You talk. Yes, you begin,
okay.
And then
this song. I was in my feelings when Sinead passed. For those of you that don't know, an incredible, prolific activist artist named Sinead O'Connor originally sang this song. And a lot of people back in the early 90s when this song came out didn't know the author of the song. They just assumed Sinead wrote this song. Right. And then it blew everyone's mind when it came out that the Prince wrote Nothing Compares to You. Stephanie, this song just puts me in my feelings.
I see.
I haven't even gotten to Gina yet, right? I haven't gotten to Gina. I'm still talking about this song.
Yeah.
Real quick before I get to Gina, if you ever want to hear almost a religious experience when you hear this song, check out, there's a version of this song that one of Prince's background singers sings on Prince's Hits album that he came out with in the late 90s. And it's Rosie Gaines, and she's the one that sang Diamonds and Pearls.
Yes.
Right? So Rosie Gaines did a version of this song, a live version of this song with Prince playing it. And that's when the song, I already love the song with Sinead, but that's when the song just went as to one of my favorite songs of all time. Yeah. I did not pick this number 2 because Nothing Compares to You is one of my favorite songs of all time. I picked number 2 because Gina sang this song down. She sang it down.
Yes, she did.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it because there were things that Gina did that were different. And I'm a purist when it comes to this song, and I thought they were amazing. Like she said, it's been 7 hours and 13 days since you took your love away. She took it up.
Yeah.
Originally it's supposed to, since you took your love away. Like you're supposed to, like the original goes down.
Yeah.
I go out every night and sleep all day. Since you took your love away. Like her taking those lines up were amazing to me. And what I love is, now she doesn't have the same texture or but she has a very similar quality to her voice as a Stevie Nicks to me. And I appreciated the faster vibrato that Gina brought to this
Okay.
song.
Yeah.
I really, really did. It was artistically correct. I love that Gina stayed true. I loved her slight variations of melody throughout the piece, but it was so slight that it didn't offend to me. And
Right.
I'm very picky on this song.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh crap, she did about just enough to win this competition.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
And she
that
did.
was it. That was the nail in the coffin for me, for Gina, where as a one, number one or number two of this season.
Right.
So I wasn't super shocked that Gina won after this performance, because it was mind blowing to me. I could have taken less of the weird TV stuff that was happening. That was a little distracting, and I think that's the only reason why she was not my number one for the finale. Like, because they had her, I guess, previously recording the song, so it was like a taped version of Gina with like less makeup and hair slicked back, kind of like a Simply Irresistible Robert Plant type look.
Yeah.
And
it was like a nod back to that era.
Yeah, and a little like Max Headroom
or
as a
era.
little 80s reference.
Yes.
I'm giving y'all crazy 80s references. And there's lots of TVs, and that was a little distracting for me, but I was so mesmerized by her vocal and what she did with this song. It had to be on my list. And this was the one for me, for Gina. This was the one. Stephanie?
The way she floated between a powerful voice and then a light chest voice within one line was astonishing to me.
To me, that was the nod to Sinead.
Yes. The way, but like, it still shocks me that these folks are singing like this live and sounding like this live on live TV.
Yeah.
And for some of these artists who are less experienced, like Gina, for her to be able to pull this off on live TV, it was astonishing.
No note was out of place, Stephanie. No
note was out of place. The way that she would yodel at the end of some of those lines, I was like, I love it. I love it. And it was so slight. Yeah. It was so slight. The way that she communicated this song, like, I felt her. She was telling us a whole story, and I was right there with her. The dynamics that she used vocally were incredible. I just love the texture and tone of her voice. Yeah. And the fact that we know that if we went to see a Gina concert, that we would get to hear that live is incredible to me. She is one of the gifts of the season.
Because really
from where she started to see her as our season 23 winner, and to see her grow week by week in her voice, not trying to be anybody else, but just being Gina, and just constantly building on each week to this. I was like, when we originally saw this, I was like, uh-oh.
I remember, Steph, you were
uh-oh. I was like,
and if you all know, if you all watch the Pitchy podcast, you Stephanie is a stickler for song choice, you all.
Yeah.
She is a stickler for song choice. So Stephanie, I already knew that you were like, wow, she sang the mess out of this and she chose the right song.
Yes. I was like, uh-oh, y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch out. Like, this was, like you said, this was the one. And Gina had a couple of the ones, but for this to be, I think this was her last performance on the show. It's like, oh, that is how you want to end.
That's how you go out. That's
how you go out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. And she looked gorgeous, I have to say. She looked unbelievable.
Was the background distracting for you, Stephanie?
It was. And it reminded me of what, I think they did something similar with Parajita the season prior, and I didn't like it then either, because I just want to watch the artist.
Too much.
Yeah, it's like, it's just too much. And it was really cool because knowing it as I was watching these performances back, I didn't even look at anything but Gina. They didn't distract me because I knew not to look at anything but her, and she delivered that song. She was absolutely perfect word. So do I have to now reveal my number one?
No. How about? Well, I have a feeling who your number one is because you haven't mentioned him yet. But how about?
Dead giveaway.
How about we guess each other's number one?
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yes.
You want to do that?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
All right. I try to keep a poker face as to who my number one is.
I think I know now. I really do think I know.
Right. I'm just gonna who is my number one, Stephanie?
I think your number one is Sorelle. Ain't no mountain high enough. It's not.
No, ma'am.
It's not.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'll give you another guess. Okay, so I think I know your number one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's D Smooth, but was it My? No! Ah! So then it's got to be What You Won't Do for Love, Bobby Caldwell.
It was that Bobby Caldwell.
Hey, Stephanie.
It was that Bobby Caldwell. Oh my gosh.
That is huge for me because I know how much you love My.
So, I did love My. And I love that he could show
Bobby. And then I'm gonna let you guess one more time for mine, and then I'll reveal mine if you don't get it.
Oh, okay. I really loved My. I loved the whole like D Smooth and his boys in the back doing all the background dancing and all that. I love.
Shout out to Best Man, right?
Yes. I love that. What You Won't Do for Love. When it began, I was like, wait, what is this? Because there were shades of me knowing what this song was, but it was so different. And there was this futuristic feel to it, with the staging and the musical arrangement and him dressed in all white. There was like this
funky future, right?
It was like funky futuristic. And I was like, what are we doing? Yeah. And he starts out scatting and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I know this. And when he started the first line, I bet you wonder where I said yes. Because just shortly before this, I believe, Bobby Caldwell had passed.
He sure did.
So this song
this year. He sure did pass this year.
So this song was very present in my mind.
Wow, that's blowing my mind. Wow.
Yes. Not only have I loved the song since forever, since my dad first introduced it to me, the song was very present of mind because of Bobby Caldwell's passing. So when I figured out that that's what the song was, I was just like, oh my God.
You got happy, Stephanie.
I got happy. And he did what we've come to see D Smooth do, which is give us melody, give us chorus, giving it to us straight up, no chaser, just straight melody for the first verse and chorus. And then once that second verse comes in, we get all of the D Smooth delicious things that he does vocally. We get it. And the background ladies came in and they just matched what he was doing. Yeah. And I love what they brought to the song as well. And it was so cool because at the very back end of the song, when the beat dropped, that's when he snapped. And that's when we got all the D Smooth. But it was interesting because that's when the instrumentation of the song, the musical instrumentation of it, went in kind of a different direction. It was more just less electronic and more just like true instruments. Yeah. But that's when he went off. And you got the oh, he could have stayed there for like 3 minutes and I would have been happy. But I just loved everything about it. You know how I love a good flip of a song, a new interpretation, a new instrumentation of a song, a new arrangement to make something older, a little bit more fresher while still giving respect to the original song. And he did that so immaculately.
Always does.
And, you know, D Smooth has just had my whole 90s R&B singing heart the entire season. We have not had anybody like him or Ray, frankly, move this far into the season.
Not
And
since
it
we've
was
watched.
no, not since we've watched, and it has blessed my soul so much to see this kind of singing this late in the competition and done so expertly well. So that is why D Smooth, What You Won't Do for Love is my number one pick.
Yeah. It was like D Smooth. It's like it was an exclamation point at the end of his incredible run on this show.
Absolutely.
It's like that cherry on that perfect Sunday. Like it was quintessential, classic, vintage D Smooth. I can't believe I'm calling him vintage because he's not old. It was just vintage D Smooth.
That voice is like fine wine, though.
Y'all and Stephanie screamed more this season than she has in a minute, right?
Because 100%.
Between Ray and D Smooth, like Stephanie said, giving us all that 90s, early 2000s R&B, that was enough for Stephanie. She's like, okay.
Oh, yes.
Y'all right in my genre. Right in.
Yes.
All right, Stephanie, one more opportunity to get who is my number one?
I don't know.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. My number one was NOIVAS Cold, Chris Stapleton.
And you know what? You know what?
What?
You know what?
What?
I can't even be mad at it.
You can't.
I can't even be mad at it.
You can't.
This was by far, in my opinion, and I'm guessing in yours, his best performance of the competition. 100%. Talk about it, James.
It is no secret that I was very hard on NOIVAS the entire season because as someone who has a big voice, as someone who has been accused of screaming a time or two.
Just a time or two. Just a time.
Or three.
Maybe three.
As someone who has had to really work on the power behind his voice, I could relate. So I'm going to be harder because I know how hard it is to work in that area. So I had to pick NOIVA as my number one because this was the performance I've been waiting for from him the entire season. Mm-hmm. First of all, this song is stone cold. Chris Stapleton wrote a song and a half, y'all. And you have to be able to sing. In fact, I remember watching another singing competition show where a young woman sang this as her audition, and she sat and played the piano and sang this song. And that's the first time I really paid attention to this song. But to hear NOIVA sing it with the full band, and of course, I'm gonna talk about the band for a second. Like that guitar solo was everything in this song, because everyone knows that Chris Stapleton not only is a vocal virtuoso, he's a guitar virtuoso too.
Yeah.
More than most. So this was the performance I had been waiting for. It was controlled. It was bombastic where it needed to be, and it really showed how talented NOIVA is vocally. Absolutely. How he was. I think if NOIVA sang like this the entire season, I think he would have won the competition. That's why it was my number one. I think if you're talking pound for pound as far as the final finale, this was the performance for me that I was shook. Because it was my first time in all of his performances where I sat back and I said, this is the voice I had heard from day one. Right. And I was like, wow.
Right.
Like, his runs, his inflections, his just different levels that he did, his artistic interpretation. I am a firm believer in staying true to a song.
Yeah.
Even when you do runs, if the runs are tasteful, if they fit in the context of the song, then go ahead and do it and make it all your own. I felt like Nueva could record this song, and I'm saying that about Chris Stapleton's song, because to me, nobody can record Chris Stapleton.
That's
okay,
right.
except Chris Stapleton, because
he can re-record.
he's one of our favorite singers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If y'all know what I'm talking about, just go back and watch the Star Spangled Banner from this past year's Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Okay, number one. Go back and watch when he, like, because Chris has been on the scene for a minute as a songwriter. Go back and watch when his coming out party at the CMAs with Justin Timberlake. Go back and watch it, y'all. Like, you're gonna be like, yeah. So I'm saying all that to say, I had to put Nuevo in there because this was the one. This was the one that I said, okay, this is why you're on this show. This is why you're in the finale. And this is why you deserve to be in the finale, because this is what people saw. Because for a while there, I can't speak for Stephanie. I didn't see it. But you know what? I'm also grown enough to admit when I do see it, to say, okay, well, there it is.
No, but the thing is, we always saw it. We always saw the talent.
That's a good point, Stephanie.
We just believed that, or we just wanted, and this is our own personal taste. Sure. And, James and my taste are very similar. I think that we just wanted to see more of the restraint of a vocal that Nueva showed in this performance, because the talent has always and was always there. I think that we thought that in most performances, once we got to the back end of the song, it got a little yelly and screamy, where we didn't necessarily like that. And that was our own opinion. And I think that we thought that he was talented enough that he didn't need to do some of that yelling and screaming that he did. And you're right. In this performance, this is the performance that we were both waiting for, because this is the performance that we knew for our taste he could give. So I completely understand why you put this as number one.
And I'm going to leave it at this. It's the first time all season that I saw vulnerability and authenticity. I'm going to leave it right there, because Nueva, if you are watching this, if you bring a sense of vulnerability and authenticity to your performance, you will change lives.
Come on.
You will change lives. Because I was shooketh. And Stephanie will tell you I am not easily shooketh.
No, it's not.
I am not easily shooketh.
That's right.
Bravo, sir. This was your moment.
Yes,
it was your moment.
Yes.
And it was spectacular.
Absolutely.
Wow, Stephanie. I had no idea that this episode was going to go in the directions that it did.
I know.
The way that we did, who we chose. Not so much who we chose for you, for me, but the songs that we chose, especially with Sorelle. I was like, wow. But I can totally see, as you said with me, I can totally see why you chose the Gaga over the Motown with Sorelle. But I knew, you know what's funny, Stephanie? I did not know Gina was going to be on your list. I did not know. I knew D Smooth was, but I didn't know which one of D Smooth.
Right.
This was a great. This was great for me. I had a really, really good time. Now, we do want to talk about one more performance that I can't speak for Stephanie, but I think I can.
You can.
That we think was the greatest performance of them all that night. Of them all. And it wasn't a competition performance. It was a duet. Stephanie, please tell the Pitchies who and what we are talking about.
It was the performance of D Smooth and Miss Kelly Clarkson singing Slow Dancing in the Dark by Joji. My.
I needed to Like the intimacy of this song, I was like, am I blushing?
There was chemistry.
Am I blushing?
I was blushing.
Like,
there was chemistry.
Oh, it's making me feel something.
Listen. And it was palpable. It was palpable to the point when I talked to my mom about this episode, she said, Stephanie, what was that song? And that's the song she was talking. What was that song? I said, Mom, that's that Joji. You better get up on that.
That put a whole bunch of people in their love a boy, love a girl feelings. Okay?
Come on, absolutely.
Like, I'm trying to be as G-rated as possible, y'all.
Yes.
Because this put people in their feelings. This was like, I told Stephanie, this was like shades of Rick James and Tina Marie, y'all.
Yes.
Fire and desire.
Fire and desire. And I actually saw that in some of the comments when I was scrolling through the YouTube comments on this song. A couple people mentioned that for sure. For sure.
Y'all, the thing that I think one of the things that I feel was most special about this is I could see Kelly was chomping at the bit to get an opportunity to sing with D Smooth.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that speaks to D Smooth's awesomeness, right?
Absolutely.
One of the greatest voices in the past 20 years, chomping at the bit to duet with you.
Yes.
Because you put her in her 90s R&B feelings.
Yes.
Which, yes. I believe you and Kelly are the exact same age.
Yes.
And so this was our music, right?
Absolutely.
This was the music of our youth, the music of our youthful awakening. How about that?
Yes, absolutely.
She's like, man, what did Kelly say when she first heard D sing? She's like, man, I ain't heard nobody sing like that since the 90s.
That's right.
Kelly said, oh, I can see Kelly in her head. Oh, I got to sing with this young boy.
One way or another.
I'm going to get a duet in. And did she get a duet in? It was sexy. It was hot. And it's like gracious. Like each of the singers said, oh no, you take a little bit. No. You take a little bit. Like that. You know what I'm saying, Stephanie? Like
1,000%. No,
that's the way I know how.
1,000. It was gracious.
It was very like, oh no, you go. Oh no, you go. Oh,
right.
Oh, you just sang that down. Okay, no. Oh yeah. Okay, let me give you something.
No, absolutely.
That's what it was.
Absolutely.
It was very gracious. It was very.
It was like humble.
Humble. Yes.
It was a sexy humble.
Sexy. So true. I'm sorry, Stephanie. What was your take on that? I mean, I think we talked about this before.
But we 1,000% did.
Like, what can you still say, or have you noticed anything new about it, or what?
Yeah, it was really cool because the sound of the song was very similar of that futuristic sound of What You Won't Do for Love. And he was dressed in white again. So it was like, okay, that was a theme for D that night, which was really cool. It impressed. She's okay. I was so impressed because as you were kind of saying, like Kelly was chomping at the bit to sing with him, I'm sure. But how smooth and cool D Smooth was to go pound for pound. He did not get caught up. So I was like, dude, you better represent. You better represent and hold your own while singing with the Kelly Clarkson. I said this on the original episode and I'm going to say it again. Before the music even started, when they showed the two of them up on that stage, I said, Kelly is not coming to play. She is coming to slay. I knew it was over when you saw those 5-inch block heel boots and them dangly pearls coming off her shoulder with them brooches. I was like, oh, mommy is coming to slay. Like, D Smooth, God bless you, bro.
I'm wearing my sleigh shoes, right?
I'm wearing my sleigh shoes. Bruh, I hope you're ready because she did not come to play. She's about to tear this song down, and I hope that you can hang with her. And he hung. The last thing I'll say why they cut to Coach Chance and he is literally in worship. He got the worship hand up because that's how good the singing was. Like, we're talking a lot about the vibe, but the singing was outstanding. And it was so cool, again, at the back end, to hear D do some of the D smooth stuff that he does.
Kelly
and
was
to
right
hear
there with him, wasn't she?
and to hear Kelly do some of her highs and her runs and whatever. It
Yeah.
it was probably one of the best coach contestant duets they've ever had on that show.
What's crazy, and because it was a completely different song, completely different atmosphere, completely different vibe, as you said.
Mhm.
I hadn't seen shades of this since Kelly the previous season when Kelly did the John Legend. When you move on.
Yes.
Like I hadn't seen anything like that. And y'all, who's the common denominator here? Kelly Clarkson. So I'm a little sad to see Kelly go for next season.
Oh, I know.
Because one thing you always gonna get from Kelly, you're going to get some singing, y'all.
Oh yes, absolutely.
This was the performance. This was the performance that Stephanie and I still talk about to this day, of all of them, for the finale especially, of all of them. This was it.
He said, "You done made up your mind." She said, "I done made up my mind." I said, "Y'all done made up your minds. Lord have mercy."
It was
hose the stage down.
The word I was looking for. It was some of the most courteous of singing.
Courteous.
They were courteous.
Come on.
With each other. Like,
come on.
Like, he held the door for her.
Mm-hmm. And she said, "Thank you."
She turned around. She said, "Can you?" Like, "Thank you." It was so intimate, but it was not.
It wasn't raunchy.
It wasn't raunchy. It was in such good taste.
It was in such good taste.
Good taste.
Yes.
And that's why we called it like a 2023 version of Fire and Desire. Because the thing is, Fire and Desire is kind of if you think about the lyrics, it is kind of a raunchy song, but they sang it so intimately and so non-raunchily.
Right.
You didn't think about the lyrics of that song.
That's right.
And this song was just, woo! It was, y'all, it was so, and I think another thing, Stephanie, we weren't expecting it.
Not at all.
This season, they weren't doing a lot of duets. They weren't doing a lot of that with the coaches and the contestants.
Right.
So when this came out, we were like, "Thank you,
thank you."
Kelly was like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that was it, y'all. That was the special performance of the night that rocked me and Stephanie's foundation. We loved it.
Absolutely. So good.
All right, Stephanie. Well, that was it. That's the finale. And as you all know, Miss Gina Miles took it all, y'all.
Yes, she did.
So congratulations again, Gina, and congratulations to all of the incredible season 23 contestants. Mm-hmm. We love you all. Mm-hmm. We love following you. We love that you all are dropping singles that we think are going to change the world.
Yes.
I mention who I'm talking about, but you know who I'm talking about. We just and good luck to Blake for this being his last season. What a run. What a run. Even though you and I are the same age. What a run, young man.
Yes.
Awesome job. And it's going to be awesome to have your lovely wife back. Next season.
Mama Gwen.
Mama Gwen as the contestants who worked under her called her.
Yes.
So, Stephanie, tell the Pitchies what they need to hear.
Okay. So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. And also check us out on YouTube. Search for The Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And last, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
Well, until we meet again, we got some really special things coming down the pike for you all until we start season 24 of The Voice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, season 24. Can't believe we're saying that.
I know.
We'll see you all really soon, and have a wonderful rest of your summer.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.